our friend Bruce Feldman from Fox, The Athletic, he hit me up, I think just as soon as he posted it. Hey, got an article that's up. Here it is.
Oh, he sent it to you?
He did. I didn't see it. He sent it to me. Bruce Feldman writing a story that his sources are telling him that Jim Harbaugh is seriously considering a return in the NFL. The question is the NFL seriously considering a return for Harbaugh to come back? Or is this a money play? Obviously, having seen the season that we've just seen and having been the guy here at this desk over and over and over again, having to answer questions from people who call into the show, or Brockman, who loves to place there in front of me like, are you really going to stand for this stuff with your guy? Even though my guy, as you know, is my guy, and he was your guy for a weekend when I was the honorary captain.
He was
his choice
great.
for honorary captain. How great was he to you?
He was great to us and me. It was awesome.
He was great to you. He's great to my buddy Paul, who was
He
also
let us
Michigan
run
grad.
out on the field through the tunnel.
Yes, he did.
Jump up and slap the banner at a real game.
Also,
Was
eat
Murph
with
there?
the team. Also, be there for movie night.
Movie night. 8
Everything
Mile.
that the team did, we did.
We were there.
Except he wouldn't allow you and Paul to ride on the first bus, which was great.
No, I rode on
Also,
the
you had to
special
ride on the
teamers,
last bus.
Like last
you
bus,
were literally
like 4-string punters.
on the last bus.
walk-ons.
That's probably the bus he would have been on if he was on the
But
team,
that's,
though, right?
That's fine. You got to have pecking orders,
It
right?
was really fun.
You didn't take Murph on this trip with you?
No way. He's a Wisconsin guy. He,
I was filming
he
everything.
calls Harbaugh Mr. Khaki Pants. And he was texting me the other day about how bad Michigan lost and looked. And I'm like, yeah, you got me, man. We only waxed Wisconsin on the way to the Big Ten championship, and you beat a 5th place Pac-12 team in the Las Vegas Bowl, and we lost to maybe the eventual national champs in embarrassing fashion. You got me. Mea culpa. Uncle, please don't say any more, Wisconsin Badger fans.
Oh, free Murph.
Look, Harbaugh, clearly I want him to stay. And if it's a money play, kudos to him, man. Because the school basically said, you're out of options here, Jim. And you want to stay, here's the pay cut, and we'll give you incentives, which he then took and gave back to the school. So if this is a money play, great. And if he wants to go back to the NFL, then you know what? If that's what makes him happy, I would be all for it. Clearly, I'd be sitting there thinking, who's next? Who can we get? Nobody who's played for the school, and nobody who understands the school as well as he does. You know, nobody can replace him on that front. Honestly, that's the way I looked at it. I'm not sitting here thinking, who the hell is he? I'll never do that. I mean, he's in a spot where clearly he is loved and beloved, and if he wants to get more money from the school out of this, then great. But this has been an annual thing, guys. You know, I've got my ear to the ground. This has been an annual thing where he has been kicking tires on the NFL. Or rumors are out there, placed out there, that he may be gone. I mean, everything is afoot here with transfer portals and NIL deals and recruiting and what have you. But if this is true and he's looking at the NFL again, part of that may be, and I got to be honest, I'll shoot everybody straight here. Is it possible he looked out on that field in the Orange Bowl and goes, "Wow, that's a lot of 5 stars out there."
This is the best team I've ever had here, and we weren't even close in this game.
Well, that gap, as you know, can be closed. I mean, you can't say it can't be, but you have to also sit there and say that's a long way to go.
Yeah.
That's a long way to go. And you know what? I just hit that recruiting trail. I'm going to have to hit it again and again and again. And, you know, I got my people that I could put together for an NFL team, and maybe I want to go to Chicago. I saw Justin Fields up close. I know what I could do there. Mm-hmm. I do love living in the Midwest. I can go to Chicago, potentially. Let's see how it plays out in the next week. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. There's no provost in Chicago. You know? There's no school president in Chicago. There's the McCaskey family we knows. Denver, would you want to go there? I don't know. Carolina, would you want to go there? Leave Michigan to go to Carolina for an owner he doesn't know in a spot where there's no quarterback? With all due respect to those who are there. That one would kind of leave me like, really? Okay, so he wants to go back to the NFL. But I'm not here for the trolling, and I'm not here for anything other than the fact if he needs more money, or what not needs, if he wants more money, he should get it back. What he just did in this last year, this is what we wanted out of him from 7 years ago all the way to this point. We got it. It was incredible. It was amazing. I'd like to see it again and again and again. And the next step, we just saw firsthand what the next step is, and hopefully we'll be better at it the next time if he stays. And if not, then we'll find somebody else who puts on that skinny M hat. But it won't be the quarterback of my freshman year. That's for sure. So, hoping it's not true. Would love for him to stay. Hoping it's a money play. If that's the case, then let's pony up. You know. I'll pop in.
You gonna donate?
I don't know. The alumni club sends me stuff every now and then.
GoFundMe for.
I don't know if Jim needs that. I don't know if the school needs that. I don't think so. But I see it, and I think to myself, you know what? It's all about the team, and the school, and someone else will take the job if that's the case. It won't be Jim, and it won't have the same aspect to it.
He didn't sound like a guy wanting to leave immediately after the game when he was talking about.
I know that.
We're building something here,
Yeah, but if there's an NFL program that's got a quarterback that he likes and will allow him to bring the grocery shopper that he would bring, if they allow him to set up shop there in the manner in which he wants to have shop set up, opposite potentially of whatever he had in San Francisco, then try it again. But he would also, not live in Ann Arbor where he grew up. I mean, there's a whole different ball of wax. I don't know. Hoping it's a money play, but we'll talk to Bruce Feldman about it. Was that what you thought I was going to say here, or what do you think I was going to say? Please tell me. I want to know what you thought I was going to say.
I thought you were going to basically get on your knees and beg him to stay.
Bro, I did that once.
Well, you got him to your school.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that happened, but and the last 7 years have been generally successful, but ultimately this year was the outlier.
Right.
And this is what I hope the first several years would be like. Well, you never beat Ohio State, Chris.
I know, but his first year was really good.
Of course it was. And so was the second. Yeah. But still, no wins against Ohio State.
True.
Even though there was ridiculous fourth down measurement, and
he got the first
and Big Ten refs who were slapping Ohio State players on the ass and stuff.
No, stop it. You need to get over that.
Scott in San Antonio, you're on the Rich Eisen Show. What's up, Scott?
Rich, a couple quick points on Harbaugh. Number one, I don't think it's about the money, and I think he made his decision before that playoff game.
Huh.
Recall, he did an interview, pregame interview. Harbaugh never does that. And have you ever seen Jim Harbaugh so relaxed, smiling, and actually happy?
Well, I mean,
I think he was closing the book.
I don't know about that, man. I just think, I think he kind of likes Marty Smith. That's the way I looked at it.
Who doesn't?
No, I honestly, he does. You're correct, but he doesn't do a lot of what he did, like talking to Marty Smith and, like he did before the game and at halftime and afterwards and stuff like that. He just doesn't usually do that. I don't know that he was at peace. I think he was at peace that he's the only coach in the history of the NFL to coach in a Super Bowl and a college football playoff game. He's the only coach in the history of college football playoff to take an unranked team to the college football playoff. He won the Big Ten championship just like he was always trying to do. He did beat Ohio State. He sat behind the third baseman at the Heisman Trophy Awards. While his guy got more votes than the third baseman's quarterback. I mean. That could absolutely make a guy smile and feel like he's at peace. He probably also saw the film and thought that his team was going to win that day. And then looked out there, and thanks to the call, and looked out there and then saw how much stouter and faster, Georgia was than his team. And he had some of the best players and skill position players. Some of those skill position players running away from people this year. I hadn't seen that at Michigan with multiple players at multiple positions in the last 7 years. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.